Everybody, Chris and Lumen here. We're going to do one more video before we break all this stuff down in preparation for moving. I'm actually getting it, change my day, so we're getting everything ready this weekend, and then Monday morning we're going to be moving, and we should be back on our feet by late Wednesday. But we wanted to do a video to kind of address a lot of the frequently asked questions that we've gotten. And that is, we share as much as we can on this channel, but when it comes to like some of the people that you see in the comments section, and people that we've worked with before, it's like, how do you actually make that big jump? Everybody can do it on their own if they have the time and the drive, and they can figure it out, but we can help. So we're going to explain like what it is that we actually do that can help you break through to the next level if that's what you're actually seeking. So if you want to know more, then don't go away. So basically, if you're here, pretty much everybody has an interest in connecting to the divine source and those higher helpers. So why is it so difficult? Like, why haven't you done it yet? What exactly is it? Well, you kind of got to know how the world is set up and how it works. And the biggest thing starting off is the world is specifically set up to block you from her, from that higher source. Everything right down to your physical body. Your physical body is designed to help cut you off from that higher source. That's right there in the Nag Hammadi. That's why, when Adam was first created, he was not in a physical body. Like after he became enlightened, that's when they put him down in the physical body. The physical body cuts you off from spirit. You have to basically break down the programming, break down all the things that are inhibiting you, or at least suppress them so that you can break through and make that connection, and then that connection strengthens. So how do we do that? How did she teach me to do that? Well, she taught me to do that by what she taught me to make. At first it was mainly the oils, and we basically only do like 2 different types now. This is an older one that actually has a label, but that one's more of like, the divine connection stones, and you can anoint, they work very differently from the pendants, but they're a lot quicker as far as what you get. But that's that. But the ones I don't have up here are generally a lot of the ones that have like the black stones. So, or the biggest thing, which is the specific pendants that we make, which we call the Aegis pendants. Aegis is a Greek word. It's like, Zeus, I think it was like Zeus's mythical shield or something like that. But also it was like the 360-degree, defense weapon system on Navy ships, because I was in the Navy. That's where I kind of got the idea from it. But it's these ones. It's specific stones with specific programming, specific God names, specific energy work. The Benedict metal, which we specifically charge and bless ourselves. And basically what this does, it disrupts and blocks all those things that are blocking you. All that stuff that is trying to keep you pinned down, where you're not able to connect, where you're constantly in recurring thoughts of fear, like, how am I going to pay my rent? How's this going to happen? Who's going to do this to me? What if this happens? What if that happens? All these bad things in the world are constantly keeping you in that fear vibration, constantly making you want to look at the news, and you're like, why can't I stop looking at all this negative news? Because something in there is driving that. It's keeping you pinned down. But for metaphysical problems or energetic problems, we need metaphysical or energetic solutions. So we came up with that. And when it comes to the pendants, like, they run constantly. If you get this on, it's going to work to suppress the negative thoughts, suppress the overall negative energy, the stuff that you pick up. It's going to block and shield you from being in places with a lot of negative energy. It's going to block, shield, and repel people that are more narcissistic, parasitic, negative, energy vampire types that just want to keep you in a lower vibration, keep you down, keep you in fear, keep you worrying about stuff. Like, we need to shut down the systems that are working against you. That's what that does. That opens the door. That gives you a chance. And then the other ones that we have, and there are variants, and there are more specific complex things for like specific complex issues. Like, you might have an overabundance of just pain and grief and things that's stored up in your heart chakra that you need to release, let go of, but it's just like freaking stuck energy. Well, your heart chakra is like your portal to source that needs to be opened. So sometimes you gotta like liquid plumber that thing and get it cleared out, get the energy flowing again. With all that stuff is stuck up in you, from you're still carrying around everything that happened to you in the past. It's gonna get in the way of making the connection. It's gonna get in the way of other things happening. It's going to keep your mind and your thoughts in a frequency of constantly thinking about and expecting negative things, by which your innate God spark ability to help make things happen is then going to be corrupted and bring more of those things to you. She calls it the wellspring. It's something we clear out. It's like the thing that feeds the energy to all your chakras. If the well is poisoned, everything else is. So we might do things like clear out your energy system, clear out your chakras. I mean, it's a case-by-case basis. Everybody's kind of like a different Rubik's Cube that's mixed up a different way, and we got to play with it. But one thing that is absolutely certain is that everybody has the issue with the negative energy because of where we are. So that's almost like, a no-brainer. Or you could possibly be somebody that's actually got a pretty big light bubble. You're doing pretty good, and you just need to connect a little bit more specifically. Well, because I'm the one who's actually physically making them. She is the one that is programming and charging them and attuning it to her. She's where the power comes from with these. It's not me doing it. It's her doing it. Crystals are they're like, it's like natural technology. They're just like natural capacitors for attuning to and holding certain frequencies of energy. So we know how to harness that and tune it. So besides the Aegis pendant, the next biggest things that you would want would be like, the Divine Love energy pendant. Divine Love energy is source energy. It is the exact opposite of that other stuff. There are other ones that we sometimes make called illuminators, which is more the solar Christ power. It's more the divine masculine energy, and that one, without fail, turns any woman into like Captain Marvel. Like, they just immediately just have so much energy, and they're ready to, nobody's gonna mess with me now. I'm gonna go break the devil's neck. I mean, that's what it does. Or with guys, it can help with personal power, personal drive. It can actually, in my case, Lumen needed that extra boost from it, and that's why when I made that first Illuminator, that was the day that she popped out. So Aegis ones, Divine Love ones, Illuminators, and then another one, we've got ones that are more Divine Feminine power based, because that is the power that is more actively suppressed in this world. So that is more attunement to her and the higher levels, Sophia up there. So that'll tune you into them more. And then we've got limitless ways to just make ones that are kind of like high vibrational spiritual antenna type stuff. But either which way, they're all attuned to her, because she's what powers all of it. Like I showed in a previous video with little movie clips, it's like, well, the Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together. Because it's her. That's what she is. So she's what actually drives that. That's why these things are so freaking strong. And when it comes to actually breaking through and making very quick forward strides, like, that's how we know how to do it. Yeah, it takes time and takes a lot of resources and stuff for me to make them, but that's how we know how to do it. That's what she taught me how to do. And you can just ask the people. You can read the reviews on the Etsy store. You can look at the comments that pop up here in this video from the people that have the stuff. And they usually start with one, and then very quickly it's like, what else do I need? What else do I need? Because they're actually getting results. It's helping her to push through the darkness and the muck and all the lower vibration stuff, and it's forcing you to just vibrate faster. I hate the word vibration, but people understand what I'm talking about at least. And it kind of shakes that stuff off so it doesn't stick to you, and it tunes you more to her. It makes it easier. You need tools. She taught me primarily so that I could then use it on myself. And then it was like, then you can use it to help other people. How we generally do it is, there's two different ways. People either talk to me first, or they ask for help, or they just intuitively, they follow the instructions and they intuitively choose something from the Etsy store, and that's what you want to go with. You want to go with what pulls to you. That'll be her. Like you'll just zero in on something and be like, this is the one, this is the one, I feel like I need this one. That would be her, because she knows what you need better than I do. You might need a divine love one before you need an Aegis one, or you might need another one before you need another one. Like, she's the one that knows. So trust that inner guidance. Like, that's what's actually going to help you. But regardless, as dark as this world is, like, usually I have to struggle to keep up with the Aegis pendants. And sometimes if, depending, like, you contact me, ask the right questions or whatnot, or you just feel like you would feel better if it was made specifically for you, we can do that. There's actually an option on the store. It says custom made Aegis. And then we need to talk to you, because that's how we connect. That's how we link through her to you. And then she just guides me on what combinations of stones she wants in that pendant for you, specifically for you. Because no two pendants are, each pendant has its own family of stones, but no two are exactly alike. Different stones in different quantities. She's what drives it. I just kind of zone out and start putting it together. And sometimes she might put some stuff in there that I think is like, why are you putting that in there? But I don't question her. Because every time, like countless times, I've tried to figure it out intellectually what I think you need. And we might decide on that. And then at the time of packaging, then she'll be like, you need to put this other pendant in there too. For free. And it's like, why? And she's like, just do it. Because she knows that you need this other one. And maybe we weren't like listening enough or something like that. So when people generally get that package, they're 100% of the time they gravitate to whatever she chose for you before what we decided. They all have their purpose, but there just may be something that you need more, and you might not even know what that is or why that is, but she knows that you need to connect to like this particular energy more than this particular energy. And from there, we just basically we add you to the private group, and then people can contact me easier through Messenger. And a lot of times we just need to kind of give them the little tidbits. Like, once you get it, I'll be like, okay, here's what you do. First of all, feel it how it is. And then you're going to hold it in your right hand and picture her and ask her to adjust it to the level that is perfect for you, that you need right now. And it'll adjust, and you'll feel it adjust. Because sometimes people are more energy sensitive than they know, and they get something from us, and they're like, "Whoa, like this is making me kind of lightheaded. It's too strong. There's too much energy flow." So you do the adjustment method, which has worked 100% of the time for everybody the first time they tried it, and then she adjusts it to where you actually need it. So then, say it's been like a month or so, and you're not noticing it as much anymore, you can then ask her to turn it up, and you'll feel it turn up. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. These things respond to you. They respond to your commands when you go through her. And people all the time come up with their own ways to actually use the stuff that we make that we might not have even thought of. And that's because they're getting it straight from her. Everybody's their own unique puzzle. What we are not doing is we're not making clones of me where you have to do everything exactly the way I do and think exactly the way I think and whatever. But we know what these main things are. Like, you learn this if you pass the entire hero's journey. Like, there's so many, it's packed so full of lessons. By the time you get out of it, you're like, well, I know how to handle that. I know how to handle that. I know how to handle that. I know how to fix that. Because you had to do it all. You had to learn it the hard way. So we're able, especially since there's like this big rush that she's in right now to connect to as many people as possible, we're able to help. But she is pushing that help further and further each day. Like, you know, not everybody comments that much on YouTube, but people like from the group and stuff like that comment. They can probably see like how much faster things are happening now as opposed to a year ago. Like, it's just speeding up. Like, a lot of the people that I'm working with now, I'm not having to do that much work with. I just have to get them started, and they're already pedaling the bike, and they don't need the training wheels. They're off on their own. They've already plugged into her. I'm like, well, geez, this is getting easier all the freaking time. But yeah, when it comes to this stuff, generally you need somebody to help you at first. I did. Everybody did, because you're trying to fit. It's kind of like, imagine yourself in a straitjacket. You're trying to get yourself out of it. But how much easier is it to get out of that straitjacket if you have a friend that can reach behind you and like unhook the buckles? Here, yeah, get this one over here. Get this one. Oh, okay, yeah, this is a lot easier now. Because we're all connected and we all need to work together. One person helps another person get free. The other person starts blossoming. Then they're helping other people. And they're helping other people. And they're helping. But if we're all just like trying to do it ourselves, and we're not connecting to the other people that have the light in them, then you're just going to struggle harder, longer. And when the dark side sees you struggling, sees you start trying to get free, it's going to clamp down on you even harder to prevent that from happening. That's why we create stuff like this, so that they can't do that. Like, you don't even want to know the things that I went through that led to me developing this. Like, really, really big stuff. Like, I just had to keep making things more powerful, because the further I got with her, especially leading up to her, like, it was trying to prevent that from happening. And the other one, Epinoia, she's just like, make this, do this, twist this. And I didn't even know what it was yet until we broke through. And once that genie's out of the bottle, it's not getting put back in the bottle. That's what we're trying to do. Get the genie out of the freaking bottle. Get her out of the freaking bottle. And then it's a fair fight. And then you can do a lot more, a lot quicker. But honest to God, like, just the people that I have worked with, anybody that has our stuff will tell you that you can only get so far listening to videos. You need help, you need tools, but you won't. This is not stuff that is designed to keep coming back to the trough. You know, that's how a lot of things are. Is like, oh, you're gonna always need us. No, we don't want you to always need us. We're here to help you get started and give you the extra tools. Sorry about that. That was another business call, so I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about. But long story short, like, this is what lets you bust through. This is what gets you connected faster, because there are a lot of things that are just there, countless things that are getting in the way of that connection. And this stuff and working with us actually speeds it up. Suppressing, the negative controls, uh, releasing the stored negative energy, the traumas and the pain and the stuff like that, being more in tune to the actual energy that she emits in the coaching, like reminders of like, look, watch how much you're doom scrolling, how much are you paying attention to, cable news stories, which is all bad stuff and it's never good. Um, so a lot of it has to do with just becoming more self-aware of what you're already doing, what your addictions are, what your habits are, what your patterns are, what you're giving your energy to, what you're putting your attention on. So sometimes in order to really focus your attention on her, we have to knock back all that other negative stuff that is trying to stay in your attention. A lot of people get stuck at that stage. I was stuck at that stage for a long time. It's like once you become you got to kind of like see it and then push through it real quick. You will become aware of what kind of negative forces are actually trying to steer you in opposite direction, and then it becomes very tempting to focus on it, and then it's like, I gotta fight this negative energy. No, you have to know about it, take measures to counteract it, but then keep your focus on her, keep your focus on the end goal, on the light, not on the stuff that's in your way. It's very, very tricky because we are hardwired to do that. Our egos are hardwired to seek conflict. So it's going to try and steer you in that direction. That's the other big thing that you're going to be working to get control of, is you're going to be pushing yourself to operate from your soul mind and not your ego mind. Your ego mind is like who you are in the world, your body, your driver's license, your ID card, your social media profile. Like, that's all ego. That's not you. That's a temporary thing. That's a temporary game character that you're playing. And you want to play in the big leagues and you want to get further faster, you need to stop worrying about playing the ego. You will still need, masks and identities and stuff in order to interact with other people. But it's just like me with my other channel. Like, that's something that I do, that I can be that guy and it's more of the world. It's outdoor gear and things like that. But that's not really who I am. I'm the guy behind the guy. And the guy behind the guy is the guy that's connected to her.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Just like the negative people in the world, like I said, the narcissistic, controlling types and stuff like that, they're good chameleons. You need to learn to be a good chameleon too. If you don't always necessarily want to go out like I did, just with a giant light and be like, everybody look at my light, because you'll attract a lot of attention that way. But most people aren't doing that sort of thing. Either which way, that's what we have. That's how we do it. We've been pretty successful with it all this time, and that's it's just up to you. It comes down to what you invest, like what she sees you investing in, shows her like what's important to you. If all this junk that we don't need is more important, like, she's less active, she's less like. But if you're like putting all your effort and energy in like, this is what I want, this is what's more important to me, this, like, she's going to respond in kind. So just keep that in mind. And if you have questions, like, again, it's not just straight off the rack, straight off the shelf. We tweak everything a little bit for each person. If you have questions, ask. That's the only way to really find out. But yeah, we'll be more active come later, middle of next week, around that time frame. Until then, we're just working on getting out of here, because this place is nuts. The stuff that we talked about in previous videos that are now unlisted because I didn't want people doing it, Like, it was an extreme measure that she kind of led me to. Like, that's not in any book. Like, we literally came up with the method not knowing what it was actually going to do, but we actually removed a part of my damaged ego self completely. And it's not in me anymore, which everything started like slowly returning back to the way that it's meant to be. But because this isn't in any book, it's basically like this, for lack of a better term, it's almost like an electrical elemental that feeds off the power in here and blew everything up, and the power just does crazy things. Now, that's why she moved to get me into a different apartment, because it cannot follow me to the other apartment, and without me in here, it's eventually just going to dissipate. But like, look at this clip. This is from last night that we kind of discovered on accident to show you how crazy it is. We had a walkie-talkie that transmits RF signals, and it was reacting with the AC outlet, making the AC outlet make freaking all sorts of crazy noises. It's like, this place doesn't make any sense anymore. We've literally done so much crazy work over the last 79 months that I've been here, all during the hero's journey time. It's like, now she's just got to get me out of here. That's all it is to it. Like, this place is the equivalent of like a desecrated Indian burial ground mixed with pet cemetery, mixed with a wormhole to something. So yeah, the energy is totally freaking whack in here, and that's why she made things change in order to get me into another apartment. But yeah, this is like what it's like here. The mystery of the electricity of 4988. Here I have a handheld walkie-talkie and a wall outlet. Let's see what happens when I push the button on the walkie-talkie.
This is Tanya. This girl has Tanya's eyes. Maybe she's got a sister.
She got a couple. No guns or ammo. Just find this wedged between the
You got me.
You mean hold it while you...
Hold on a sec. So, electrical outlet, walkie-talkie that puts off RF signals.
Justin Bowman.
Where's it? Grab that EMF meter off of the table.
Do it again.
I'm waiting for the outlet to start like spewing blood or something.
Right.
The walls in the 53rd precinct were bleeding.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Enough, I get the point.
But when it comes to me being a Rebus that's fully merged with Lumen and everything that I've gone through, having graduated a couple different levels of the hero's journey, like, I deal with a lot higher level crazy stuff. And we do this stuff so you don't have to. That's the way we look at it. So the links to the Etsy store in the description box below, as well as all the contact and everything. If you want to get a hold of me, touch base with me, ask questions and whatnot, we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's all we got for right now. Chris and Lumen. See you next time.